Hello everyone. Our today topic of a study is effects and control of water pollution. So under this topic, we shall discuss about the effects of various types of water pollutants. The first one is oxygen demanding waste. That means the waste which are going to be disposed into the surface water bodies, how much oxygen the waste need for the decomposition. That is the oxygen demanding waste. So definitely the dissolved oxygen in the water, we shall talk about the dissolved oxygen. It is the amount of oxygen aquatic environment that is accessible to fish, invertebrates, and all organisms in the water for their survival. Most aquatic plants and animals require oxygen to survive. Fish cannot survive for longer in water when the dissolved oxygen is less than 5 milligram per liter. Water body receive oxygens from the atmosphere and not from and also from the aquatic plants. Running water, that means river, dissolve more oxygen than the still water of the pond or lake because most of the part of the river water remains in contact of atmospheres, and turbulent motion is also there, so it atmospheric oxygens is going to dissolve into the water. So the amount of oxygen dissolved in water is a good indicator of the water quality and the kinds of life it will support. The wastewater containing biodegradable organic compounds are decomposed by the bacteria and other organisms that live in surface water. All these decomposition consume dissolved oxygens upon which many desirable species of fish, other aquatic organisms, and wildlife depend. So they need oxygens for their survival. So oxygen demanding waste, suppose the if anybody is going to discharge more or decomposable waste in the surface water bodies, it needs more oxygen for the decomposition, which will be taken from the water itself, because the oxygen is dissolved in the water. So in that case, what is going to happen? The water will be polluted. Next, we can see what do you mean by eutrophication. It is the process by which a water body, such as lake, pond, becomes enriched with the excess nutrients, mainly nitrate and phosphates, leading to excessive growth of algae and aquatic plants. Nutrients enter the water through the agricultural runoffs, sewage, and industrial effluents. That means nitrates and phosphate-rich effluents comes from the sewage, industrial effluents, and it reaches to the pond or lake. These nutrients promote rapid algal growth, which is called as algal bloom. So the algae use dissolved oxygen from water for respirations. And when they die, their decomposition by microorganisms consumes even more oxygens. Uh, the oxygen is taken from the water itself. So as a result, oxygen level decreases. That means oxygen depleted in the water bodies, leading to the death of aquatic organisms. This process results in the premature aging and deterioration of the water body called eutrophications. So that means continuous continuous addition of nutrient-rich materials like containing nitrates and phosphates gives rise to algal growth, rapid algal growth. And when algae dies, in that case, the microorganisms decompose the algae, which needs more oxygen that is already dissolved in water. And water is also limited in the confined water bodies. But what is happening? The nutrient-rich effluents are going to be added frequently. So in that case, the sufficient oxygen is not there in the water for the survival of the aquatic plants. So hence, it is going to be filled up. It is going to be deteriorate. It is going to damage, right? That's why it is called as premature aging. Deterioration of the water body is eutrophication. The next water pollutants is the nitrate. As we know that when the uh, polluted water contains nitrate more than 45 milligram per liter, in that case, that water may cause blue baby syndrome. That is also called as methemoglobinemia. It is a serious health condition in infants caused by high levels of nitrates in drinking water. When baby consumes such contaminated water, usually mixed in milk, their blood loses its ability to carry sufficient oxygens, making the skin appear bluish, especially around the leaves, hands, and feet, called blue baby syndrome, and the baby dies. So normally it occurs in the children having age less than 1 year. Next, we can see other pollutants, uh, pathogenic microorganisms. So microorganisms, as you know, E. coli, we have already studied the drinking water standard that if the pathogenic bacteria are beyond the limit, in that case, it can cause varieties of diseases also. So pathogenic microorganisms, for example, E. coli, yeah, it comes under the bacteria group, and it causes diarrhea, urine tract infections, gastrointestinal. Suppose Vibrio cholerae is present, it comes from the bacteria group. It causes the cholera. So likewise, Salmonella, it also comes from the bacteria, and it produces the disease typhoid fever and paratyphoid fevers. The next one is the uh, Giardia lumblia. This also comes it comes under the Protozoa parasite. It disease caused by this polluted Protozoa parasite is known as beaver fever. So next one also histolytica, E. histolytica. This also comes from Protozoa parasite. It causes the amoebiasis. That means these are the microorganisms. If it is found beyond the limit in the water bodies or in drinking water, it may cause various types of diseases. Likewise, if heavy metals is present in the water, it may also cause varieties of problems, health problems. So, for example, we can see it, toxic metals enter from where it comes, enter water from industrial discharge, mining, corrosion of pipelines. So, one example we shall take mercury. Mercury, this is one of the case study we can say. Mercury dumped into water is transformed normally in the soluble methyl mercury by bacterial actions. So, methyl mercury accumulates in fish. Normally, what happens in the Japan in 1953? People suffered from numbness, that is called as partial or total lack of sensation of body parts, vision and hearing problems, abnormal mental behavior. So this disease is called as Minamata disease. That means the disease caused by the soluble methyl mercury is called as Minamata disease, occurred due to consumption of methyl mercury contaminated fish caught from Minamata Bay in Japan. That means people consume the fishes which are already affected by the mercury. This disease claimed 50 lives and permanently paralyzed over 700 persons. So as per the literature, it has been found. Mercury also caused the kidney failures. So cadmium, you can see in the in Japan, this was also observed. Cadmium caused bone deformities. So bone deformities, the disease caused by the cadmium is called a Itai-Itai disease. It was also found in the people of Japan. This disease was caused by cadmium contaminated rice. The people was consumed the cadmium contaminated rice. The rice fields were irrigated with the effluents of zinc smelters and drainage water from the mines. In this disease, bones, liver, kidney, lungs, pancreas, and thyroids gets affected. You can see that the cadmiums were found due to the discharge of effluents coming from the zinc smelter. So next one is we can see the lead. Lead in water may be released from water pipes as lead is used in plumbing. So lead poisoning affects kidney, reproductive system, liver, brain, and central nervous system. It also causes anemia and mental retardation in the children. Arsenic causes the skin lesions, cancer, cardiovascular diseases. Chromium causes ulcers, allergic reactions, lungs, and skin cancer. That means, see, these heavy metals, this becomes the water pollutants when it exceeded the standards, exceeded the norm, exceeded the limit in the water. The next one, water pollutants is pesticide and herbicide. Normally DDT, aldrin, linten, atrazine. These are used in agriculture, and this contaminate the groundwater quality. So, what is the effects if these pollutants are available in the water? They can cause the damage to liver, kidneys, nervous system, hormonal imbalance, and reproductive issues, carcinogenic cancer causing effects, birth defects, and development of blood disorders. Next, water pollutants are the radioactive substances which come from the nuclear plant waste, mining, or natural uranium deposits. So these wastes are normally going to uh, pollute the either surface water body, or it may contaminate the groundwater qualities. So it causes the cancer and genetic mutations, damage to bone marrow and immune system. Next, pollutants which are going to occur by a power plant, that's the thermal pollution. Discharge of hot water from the power plants raises water temperature, and increase in water temperature cause decrease in dissolved oxygen. So indirectly affects humans by reducing oxygen content in the water wherever it is going to discharge, either in the river or any surface water bodies, and killing aquatic life because of the decrease in oxygen into the water, because the hot water generated from thermal power plants is going to uh, decrease the dissolved oxygen already available in the waters. So what are the other pollutants? We can see the effects of the other pollutants like fluoride. Fluoride may cause the dental fluorosis, the teeth teeth is affected, right? Bones are affected by skeletal fluorosis. So if fluoride is more than the limit in the potable water. So what do you mean by bioaccumulation and biomagnifications? Bioaccumulation or biomagnification. The bioaccumulation you can see here, substances like DDT are non-water solubles and have a strong affinity for lipids, fats, and oils present in living organisms. Because they do not easily dissolve in water, they are not readily excreted from the body, right? That's why what happens when the fishes and other living creatures in the water consume this DDT, it accumulates in the body itself, accumulate in the fatty tissue over time. This process of accumulation in the living creatures is called as bioaccumulation or bioconcentration. The next you can see the concentration of these toxic substances builds up at successive level of the food chains, right? At a different level, at different trophic levels. This process is called as biomagnification. Next, we can see how we can control the water pollution. So first one, you can see proper treatment of industrial waste. Whoever is operating the industry, which may be fertilizer industry, chemical industries, or tanneries, whatever the effluents are going to be generated from the plants, it should be treated in the plant itself using the effluent into the plant, and the generated effluents should be discharged only after the treatment. But whatever the pollutants or parameters or the contaminants are available in the treated waters must meet the standards before discharge into the rivers, lakes, or oceans. Next, we can see reuse and recycle can also help in the treatment, right? So, industry should be encouraged to reuse and recycle water within the plant itself. So, adoption of cleaner production technologies, replace harmful chemicals, and use eco-friendly raw materials to minimize the pollutions. Regular monitoring is also required. Industries should monitor their wastewater qualities. Whoever is operating the industry, they must monitor their effluent, that whether they are going to adhere the prescribed standards given by the pollution control boards. So time to time monitoring of the wastewater quality. That means the effluent, whatever the wastewater is going to be treated. So after the discharge, whether it is meeting the standard or not, prescribed by the pollution control, to be checked on regular basis by the industries. Next is the sewage treatment plant. The sewage treatment plant should be installed to treat the domestic wastewater before its discharge. Separate drainage of sewage and rainwater should be provided to prevent the overflow of sewage. Otherwise, if suppose the joint sewer line is there, in that case, the overflow will take place and the sewage may contaminate the surface water or the water which is going to meet into any resource, any sources, which may be river or ponds, whatever it may be there. Next, you can see the judicious use of agrochemicals. That means the agriculturists or farmers should be educated to use the pesticide or fertilizers in such a way so that it will not cause the pollutants. Pollutants can be reduced if judicious use of pesticide and fertilizers are going to take place. Right? Excessive use of fertilizer or pesticide can, what will happen during rainy season in the form of a surface runoff or even in leaching also, it in the form of surface runoff, it may contaminate the surface water bodies, and by leaching it may contaminate the groundwater quality. So use of these chemicals, fertilizers or pesticides should not be used on the sloped lands because more erosions and more runoff will generate, that will cause the surface water body pollutions. So this is also be taken care of. Next, we can see one of the method to control the groundwater contamination is called a air spurging. It is also known as in situ air stripping or in situ volatilizations. It is used for the treatment of saturated groundwater contaminated by volatile organic compounds such as crude oil, hydrocarbons derivatives. So in this method, normally what is happen, the air flow is forced into the saturated zone of soil. That means wherever the volatile organic carbon had reached inside the ground, right, or and met to the water table. In that case, a pipeline has to be driven and air should be flowed forcefully in the saturated zone. So in that case, what is going to happen? The VOC is going to dissolve and the air will make it volatile. The volatile organic rises in bubble form and then it is captured by vapor extractions. This is also one of the methods for the control of water pollution. The next control we can see phytoremediation techniques. This has been used frequently by the people in the world. Use of aquatic plants like water hyacinth, water lettuce, verdigris to absorb heavy metals and other pollutants. So suppose the groundwater which is polluted with heavy metals, that can be treated by using the phytoremediation techniques. Implementation of environmental laws. That means the Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1974 or Environmental Protection 1986 should be enforced strictly for the control of water pollutions. In addition, monitoring and inspection of industries and municipal systems by the central and state pollution control boards plays a significant role in the control of water pollution under the Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1974. So, what we have studied in this lecture today, what are the effects of water pollutants and how the water pollution can be controlled in a proper way. Thank you.